How has your prep been so far?
Very good. Very good. Dialed back the total volume, and applied a few programming techniques that I haven't in the past. And yeah, it's going very well.
And you're prepping for a couple of other meets along the way as well?
Battle of the North 2, state titles for Queensland, and obviously ProRaw.
And so both of those other meets will be before ProRaw, obviously?
Yes, that's the difficult part. So I've had to program sort of undulating, but still linear, based on linear, to be able to get enough training in before ProRaw, but also enough rest in and fatigue management to be able to put up a total at Battle of the North, and also state titles. State titles, I might have to put up a big total, so that's the hard one, because it's 2 weeks out from ProRaw.
And so both of those comps are obviously leading up to something in particular?
Yeah, the Triple Crown, GPC Powerlifting Triple Crown. So it's the first one on offer within just GPC. Previously they've done, if you win a state title, national title, and ProRaw, there was a prize. I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago. This time it's within GPC. You've got to win a regional competition, a state title, and a national title. And there's a $10,000 prize pool. So it could be a couple $100 prize or a couple $1,000 prize. We'll see how many people can pull it off. Yeah. That's the challenge for me, is trying something different.
When did you start powerlifting, and how did you know she was the one?
I think mid-2012 decided to swap over to pure strength training, and then by the end of 2012 I was training just for powerlifting. But it wouldn't have been until I started training at the former Power Pit at Darwin, where I was introduced to powerlifting, a federation. I did a bit of training in Canberra as well with some powerlifters, and then would have been after the 2013 push-pull in December, where I knew it was the one.
What's your favourite lift and why?
That's too hard. No, I'd say squat. I look forward mostly to the squat to train, and I think for most lifters it's the biggest part of your total, for the majority of lifters. But it's the most stressful part on competition day, especially when you look at knee wraps and warming up and so on and so forth. I think for anyone that's competed in powerlifting, the squat, once the squat's out of the way, it's all fun from there. So the stress and the challenge of getting the squat done, and also most people would be looking to put, including myself, put most of their total up within the first hour of competing. Yeah, I like it, but it's also the most challenging, so the most stressful too.
How do you get in the zone for lifting these incredible weights?
That's a hard one. The hard one to answer. It's an easy one. You would probably know as well. It's an easy one to do and to feel, but to describe it, I probably not don't have the words, but I think it's like muscle memory. You've got to do everything the same as you've done it before, every single time before, but also you might have to address all the different little different idiosyncrasies of the day, and look back on past experiences, and maybe to mentors and other people who are good at doing what you do. And when the bar's loaded and ready to go, to quote Dave Tate from Elite FTS, you have to go into the void. If you're fully, I find if I'm fully conscious with a maximum effort lift, I'm distracted, and I do get distracted in training, but in competition, it's like the void, a blank comes over, and then you get the rat call and it's all over, and you have to check the lights to see what happened. So I think just pure and utter focus and blocking everything else out just for that minute.
What are your current maxes and what do you hope for on the day?
Oh God, hard questions. Current maxes, 380 kilo squat, 227.5 kilo bench, and 365 kilo deadlift. For Battle of the North and state titles, that will be very sub-maximal. I'm lucky to be able to put up a winning total, hopefully that's sub-maximal, so it reduces fatigue, leading into ProRaw. But I mean, the goal for 2019 is to secure a 400 kilo squat. That has to be done. I've done it in competition, but it was too high, so I've got 2 red lights. So I need to get the 400 kilo squat, and that's a big part of my total. I've had a bit of a plateau on bench press for many reasons, and I would like to just get a 230 kilo bench press, which would be a 2.5 kilo PB, and to push past the 370 barrier on deadlift. So an ideal day for me would be 400, 230, 375, and that would be, my math isn't that good, but it'd be over 1,000, about 1,010. But an acceptable day for me in a big competition, excuse the frog in the background, would be just a PB total. I don't care about any of the 3 lifts, they don't matter to me, it's just a PB total.
Yeah.
Or to push my all-time Australian record out just a couple of kilos, that's enough.
Do you have a favourite lifter?
Hard question. They're all hard questions. They're good, very good questions. I've got several favourites, but as for powerlifters, I haven't thought about this. There's many. Everyone loves Ed Cohen. I've spent time with Ed Cohen, Dan Green. It's pretty, everyone says that. I think at the moment Steffi Cohen, and she's coming to ProRaw, which is great. Cleo Benoit, Australian. There's many, but there's some new up-and-coming lifters as well. But I'd have to say all over, out of everyone currently, it would have to be Yuri Belkin, and everyone and all time would have to say Ed Cohen.
What's your best refuel snack on comp day?
Sushi, always. And if you've been to a comp and you've seen me competing, you know that I'm eating kilos of sushi. It just meets the criteria. Like a 1-to-4 protein carbohydrate ratio. White rice is easy to digest. There's a little bit of flavour. It's easy to eat, easy to carry around, and I can eat lots of it on comp day and have no intestinal or digestion issues. So yeah, everyone that's competed with me or against me or been part of my team knows that they're sushi.
Why do you love training at Valhalla?
Oh, that's the easiest question. Best equipment in North of Australia, best team, the best business partnership running it, the people that own it are athletes. We cater to everyone's strength, everyone that's not doing strength, people that just want to train for bodybuilding, hypertrophy. The small boutique setup is good. I mean, we would love to expand. I'd love it to expand too, but the intimate setting with all the specific equipment, the only equipment that you need is here. I train with minimal machines and minimal specialist equipment, but what we've got here, we've got accommodating resistance bands, chains, all that sort of stuff. But the main thing is we're training with the competition stuff, so you can be very specific, or in the off season you can do all sorts of a variety of things. But there's not a lot of machine stuff, and I think machines take away stability and ability and skill and all that. And I think that unless you've got a major issue, like physical issue, I don't think machines should be part of a novice or an intermediate lifter's training regime. If you're training for strength, you need to know the skills. You need to learn the skills and build stability and bracing and all that. And we've got all that equipment here, and the people.
You started this sport later in your life. Do you ever wish that you had found it sooner?
Hell yes. Hell yes. My first competition, I would have been 36, I think 36, maybe 35. I'm 41 now. I'll be 42 in July 2019. I would have loved to have found it when I would have been in my athletic prime, but at the same time, back then it was likely I would have been equip lifting. Not that I have anything against equip lifting, but it doesn't interest me. But I would imagine, like a lot of the guys that have come from equipped and then now raw, there's a fair bit of carryover, especially with getting used to massive heavy weights. So if you can do something in a suit, like a squat suit or a bench press shirt or whatever, I think in time you might be able to creep up to those same weights. So I think it's a good crossover there, but I'm glad I started right in the peak 2012-13, right in the peak of raw powerlifting when it took off. So yes, but I would have liked to have started, being 10 years younger, at least.